There are problems still between MVP and Triple H, WWE, whatever you want to call it. We got more news on this front as MVP went to Twitter and gave us some insight about how he feels about Triple H. So here is what MVP had to say on X earlier. There was a moment during the PC era when the old man wanted to turn the Hurt Business into the Nation of Domination 2.0. He even brought in Mark and Ron. We fought him on it. Our group was never about race. It's always been about our organic friendship and desire to make money doing what we love. There was then a fan who responded to that by saying, what was the reason Paul didn't want to bring it back? Did he say, or was it just a hard no? MVP responded to this comment and said, always avoided the conversation. This follows MVP expressing pretty bluntly that he felt like the new administration in WWE was not for him and he was not for them. And it was one of those situations. So seems to be the case that there's been a lot of there's no love lost between Triple H and MVP to say it bluntly. But Kenny, what are your thoughts on this? What do you got to say? What's your reaction to MVP's comments here?
So first of all, I don't necessarily understand exactly what's going on here. So he's saying there was a moment during the PC era that the old man, Vince McMahon, wanted to turn the Hurt Business into the Nation of Domination 2.0. He brought in Mark Henry and Farouk and said, I want you guys to be in here. We're going to build a new nation. And he said, our group was never about race. So MVP did not want to do that. But then this other guy's bringing up Triple H saying.
So I think what happened here was, this is just MVP tweeting. Like, he was just like talking about like something else. And then a fan responded to this tweet. So it's like kind of unrelated to the overall thing. But the fan responded like, hey, coming off of this, why didn't Triple H bring you back? If Vince McMahon was going to do this and it didn't work out, why didn't Triple H bring you back? And MVP said what he said.
So Triple H just always avoided the conversation. So, I mean, that's such a Vince McMahon thing, first of all. He's like, 3 black men in a group. Let's make them the Nation of Domination. But then you look at what the Nation was back in the day. I mean, Triple H probably wanted them to stay away from it because we remember Triple H came out. Was it X-Pac who did blackface, right? And Triple H had the big nose.
It was all of it. Triple H did it too.
So they all did blackface.
They all did it.
It was a nasty time, man. Nasty time. Triple H probably just didn't want to dig up those old wounds. So, I mean, you know what? I get it. And I think the Hurt Business was better at what they were doing, not trying to be the Nation and not trying to be about race. Because at that time, during the pandemic, we saw the George Floyd stuff, everything going around. So I think it was better to kind of keep race out of wrestling and just let everybody live in the wrestling universe. So in this case, I would say WWE or whoever said, let's not do the Nation of Domination thing made the right call.
That was MVP. MVP said.
MVP who said let's not do it.
Yep.
So I think that's good, and I'm glad Vince McMahon actually went along with it and didn't go with the story. So I mean that's actually big props. I mean, and this kind of goes back to what MVP was saying in the last video we spoke about. He said the current management, they would work with him and they understood, but I guess when he was pitching stuff to the new management, Triple H and the guys who run it now, they just weren't understanding, and for that reason, the Hurt Business kind of just slipped down the card, and they got to a point where they just couldn't recover. So I mean, I think it kind of proves his point here. They were willing to work with him back then. Vince McMahon said, let's do it. MVP didn't want to do it, and they moved on. So, I mean, again, he's kind of standing up on his word with examples showing why the old regime worked better for him.
Brian.
I'm just tired of him talking about the same crap, bro. I'm going to be honest, bro. I'm going to be honest, bro. That's just all it is for me, man. It's like, bro, all right, bro, we get it. We understand that you had the opportunity to make some more chicken, but guess what? You are in a brand new company. You doing your thing. Y'all cooking over there on AEW. Just let it be, bro. We don't got to keep reminiscing about the past and the what could have been. You know what I'm saying? You got a chance to really do right now. And again, if they don't really pop off like for a consistent amount of time and make all this money that they was talking about and be just as interesting as he's been claiming they could be, you're going to look like a fool on social media, my dog.
Hey, Brian, I got a question for you. So earlier, before we've talked about CM Punk kind of crashing out on AEW. And you have defended
that's well deserved.
Okay, what's the
Ooh.
difference? Explain to me the difference.
The fact that a guy went and shot at him and went into business for himself on live television,
Mm.
that's the difference.
But that was years ago at this point. I mean,
Okay, and
now he's in
just like
WWE
and
doing
just like
something.
MVP and Triple H
MVP
was years
Okay,
ago.
but you
No, what
stood
do you
up.
mean?
You
MVP
stood
just
up for CM
no.
Punk.
MVP got MVP's contract expired just a couple of months ago. This is a recent event.
That is not recent, bro. The whole Bobby Lashley, Cedric Alexander thing, and Shelton Benjamin that happened
Him
in
not being
COVID
used
era.
on WWE TV is very recent because his contract expired like 2 months ago.
Hey, bro,
Hey,
it
bro,
happened
what?
in the COVID era.
Well, why is it okay when CM Punk does it, but when MVP does it, you have a problem with it? I don't
I have a
understand
problem,
that.
bro, because CM Punk don't go on these random social media tirades.
Bro,
Have you seen his IG story? I'm sorry, bro. Come on.
They asked CM Punk. They asked him these
Come
questions
on,
during the
man.
interviews, and he gives an answer. That was a random tweet that MVP just did. That was a random tweet, and then he got a reply from a fan, and he answered the fan, which that's pretty cool that he even interacted with a fan. But bro, he just goes and says random stuff about this group, and then we talk about it, and it's like, bro, all right, we get it. Like
Bro,
I've been said, we understand, bro. It might have been a missed opportunity. We don't know if it was. We'll
I
never
fail
know.
to see the difference though
A
between those two things.
hypothetical.
Like
Yeah,
I
I
just don't understand
don't see the difference.
I don't because I don't see CM Punk just going in on social media tweeting, "Hey, bro,
you don't see
some
CM
of
Punk
these guys-"
crashing out.
Bro,
That
I
what you're
said
trying
on
to tell me?
no on social media. He don't go. He don't get on
Bro,
his
look,
not on
account.
bro,
TV.
you don't
He don't get on his
follow him
account
on
and tweet.
Instagram, man. You don't follow him on
I
Instagram.
do.
Come on,
I
my
do.
guy.
You don't be on there. He don't be on there wilding consistently. He don't.
CM
He
What do you
Punk
mean?
don't.
What do you
comes
mean?
out
Is
on
MVP
TV.
consistently wilding on Triple H on social media?
For
No.
the past month, I've
No,
heard
not
like
on
5
social
different
media.
stories on
No,
MVP.
this is the first social media post that we brought
Oh,
up, bro. Come on,
brother.
man.
Oh,
Like
CM
brother.
everything
Punk
else is
goes
said in
out on live
podcasts. It's okay
TV
with
to the
CM Punk
hard
says
cam
in
side and
podcasts,
says,
but if
"There's
MVP says
people."
it not.
Like,
Oh,
bro,
brother.
what are you doing that for? Leave AEW in the past if you're so happy in WWE right now. Like, what's the problem?
Mm.
I feel like, if these
Brian
guys
can't
want to
defend
air
it.
their grievances, like Brian, you always got a problem when AEW does it, but when somebody from WWE
I
does it,
don't
like,
got.
well,
I
bro,
don't.
I mean, that's what it is.
I don't got a problem though, bro. I really
So what's
don't.
the difference
I'm
between?
Sounds like you
just.
do.
I don't got a problem. I'm just
It
saying, bro.
sounds
I'm
like
tired of hearing it. I'm tired, bro.
I'm tired of hearing it too.
I've heard more. I've heard more about this group in the past 2 months than I did when they were on TV, bro.
And that's part of the problem because Triple H refused to book them.
Bro,
Like,
I'm talking about since when they were on TV. Like,
Good
bro,
fact.
I just
they sit there acting, bro, like they would, like, bro, you are not the bloodline, bro. You wasn't
They
gonna
could,
cook
you
like
know
the
what? They could have
bloodline.
been the bloodline.
First of all, they were okay. You want to
It's
get into
all
this?
within
Mike?
right
Let's
with
get
that
into
thing.
this. It go from Royal Rumble to like going into Mania. You know who was the champion before they put it on Brock Lesnar at the last minute? It was Bobby Lashley. Him and the Hurt Business did a lot of stuff leading in those months leading up to that run to cement themselves at the top of the card. Like they were bona fide stars in that. Suddenly, Triple H takes over. They are nowhere to be seen. I understand you are our local WWE representative, but my guy, you got to have a little bit of impartiality when we talking about this.
Nah, man,
And for
nah.
what you just said about the bloodline, I'll tell you this: Roman Reigns definitely top guy in wrestling, even though he can't talk. But everybody in the blood, everybody in the Hurt Business, better than everybody else in the bloodline.
That's cap. I'm sorry.
So Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso,
That's
all right,
cap.
Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso. Y'all telling me they're better than anybody in the Hurt Business?
Yes.
Jimmy and Jay
I
Uso
love Shelton
suck.
Benjamin. I love Cedric Alexander. Jimmy and Jey Uso are like an elite, like historic tag team. Like
Tag team.
Okay.
Tag team.
Okay. And Jey Uso has gotten much better over the year. Him doing his singles thing.
With more potential. And you say they're an elite tag team is because that's the position WWE put them in.
Okay, and Jay has delivered.
Been in that position and
Jay has delivered as the main eventer.
They weren't. They let them
deliver as the main eventer.
He's delivered.
Who's delivered?
Jey Uso has
That's why
delivered
they
as the main eventer.
put the world championship on him because he delivered.
Well, no, that was a mistake. They should have put the world title on him at SummerSlam.
No, it wasn't a mistake. I mean,
100%.
it is what it is. He wasn't good enough. They didn't see him as good enough.
That is what led to the bloodline story like collapsing. Like
let's not act, bro, like Jey Uso ain't delivered during his run.
The New Day is better than the bloodline. Kofi Kingston and Big E Langston both had WWE championships.
Okay,
Jimmy and Jey Uso will never win WWE championships.
Okay, I mean, bro. Okay, and
this tag team won singles WWE championships, like the
what does
biggest
that
one.
got to do with
Wait
anything?
a minute. Time out.
Jimmy and Jey Uso can't do that.
One
They
of
were
them
just on
won
their
the
own
world
and could not
championship,
reach that
Kenneth.
level.
One of them won the world championship.
Big E and Kofi Kingston did. What do you mean?
Okay, yeah, you're okay. I thought we were talking about. I thought we were talking about the Hurt Business. My bad.
In the grand scheme of things, y'all can praise the Bloodline because of how they're booked, but when it comes to the overall package, the New Day cooled off because WWE let them cool off. The Bloodline guys
Big
are
E got
protected because
injured.
of who they are. Big E got injured, but
No, yeah.
Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods could have stayed up if WWE protected them, but they just didn't see that value.
Vince
They
McMahon
let them
didn't.
flip.
That's why Vince McMahon booked Kofi to lose in 19 seconds to Brock. Vince McMahon cooked him.
No,
Cook us in the comment section.
Let me
though.
not.
Let us
Let
know
me
what
not
you guys
even
think
joke
about all
that.
this in the comment section. Is MVP right? Is he wrong? Is Brian or Kenny or me in the right or the wrong? Let us know. Be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and most importantly, Kenny, hit it with him.
That thing.